Today we'll be using real brush pens to create this quick little study of a Merlin, a small bird of prey in the falcon family. Brush pens are filled with a strong pigment, are water-based, have a real brush tip, and they are really versatile. So let's get into it. For this project, we'll be using some 300 GSM cotton watercolour paper, some real brush pens, and this is the 24-piece set, and a number 4 traditional mop brush. You'll also need a HB pencil and a fine-tip black marker. With any pen and marker set you get, it's a great idea to create a colour chart so you can see how the colours actually look. Do this on the same paper you intend to use. In this case, I'll be using that cotton watercolour paper. Once our chart is finished, we can start the project. The first step is to transfer the outline onto the watercolour paper. To do this, we shade the backside of the printout with a pencil. You can find this at our website, and we have printed it out to A3 sizing. Once it's all sanded, flip it over and lay it shaded side down. Tape it onto a sheet of 300 GSM watercolour paper and retrace all of the line work. Once you have finished the tracing, there may be some areas that need to be redefined. If there is, you can refer to the printout and lightly redraw or define any of these areas. We can now add some colour, starting with the yellow sky. We use cadmium yellow for this and lightly drag the colour over the background. Once the colour is on, we use that mop brush to dissolve the colour onto the paper. Real brush pens are very versatile, and although they can be used directly, the pigment can also be dissolved with water after application for beautiful watercolour effects. Once the pigment is activated, drag it down the page so it is lighter the closer you get to the bottom. While the page is still damp, scrub some Scarlet into the background. When the paper is damp, the colour goes on in a diffused sort of way, and you get lovely soft edges. To create interesting patterning within the coat, I drop water onto it. Allow this to dry, then apply more Scarlet over the top of it. The colour will be much stronger when the paper is dry. The Merlin was once known as a pigeon hawk and is a relatively small bird measuring 24 to 33 centimetres, with a 50 to 73 centimetre wingspan. The female Merlin is considerably larger than the male, and this allows males and females to hunt different prey animals and decreases the territory size needed to feed a mated pair. To give some richness to the tone, I scrub cadmium yellow over the area. Like watercolours, it is best to move from light colours to darker ones, or move down the tonal scale. For the post that our friend is perched on, we apply some light grey over the area. Then add ultramarine and violet into it. Take the colour into the foreground also. Water is then applied so the colours amalgamate. Breeding Merlin pairs will frequently hunt cooperatively, with one bird flushing the prey towards its mate. Merlins are well known for fiercely attacking any birds of prey that they encounter, even adult eagles. Adult Merlins may be preyed on by larger raptors, especially peregrine falcons. In general, however, carnivorous birds avoid Merlins due to their aggressiveness and agility. While this area is still damp, light green and sap green strokes are applied over the area so that they sort of blend into the areas that are damp. This will suggest long grass. Allow this area to dry. Reapply these greens and yellow over the previous grass area. Dip the brush into water Then some yellow and sienna and lay a very light wash over the bird and allow this to dry. Now we can paint our little friend's markings in. To do this, use red ochre and start with the head and follow the direction of how the feathers would naturally lie. Once the head is complete, we can paint in the plumage down our friend's belly. Refer to the second printout and leave the light areas of plumage free of colour. The wing is painted in with red ochre and water is painted over the area, then dabbed with a paper towel to lighten the whole area. This is then allowed to dry. The feet can then be painted in with cadmium yellow. The beak of the Merlin is a light grey sky blue. To get a very light tone with brush markers, you can dip the tip of the brush pen into the water and apply this to the desired area. We can then go in with sienna over the bird to darken it in the appropriate areas. Once the body is finished, red ochre is then applied to the wing area in a series of broad strokes to suggest feathers. The eyes in any artwork carry a lot of weight, and it's a good idea to lay any of this precise work in with a fine tip marker. Don't cover the entire eye here, as there would be highlight shine on each eye. Black can be laid into any areas of deep shadow, and the tip can be used to add fine detail lines on the post to suggest the grain of the timber. And voila! Well, thanks for watching. We hope you enjoyed the lesson and can see how versatile these fantastic brush pens are. Just imagine what you could create with them.